Hello, this is Risa Rising. My name is Marissa, and I talk about liberation astrology, Black liberation astrology, and crossing over into the age of Aquarius. Today, I'm going to be talking about the ultimate delusion of Pisces, and that is exalted love, right? When we think about Pisces and we think about Venus, Venus is the exalted sign of Pisces. That means that Venus is most comfortable in that sign. In my type of astrology, I flip it and I see what signs are actually most comfortable in the planets and what works best in the liberation of peoples. Okay? So, when I say that Pisces is like its ultimate delusion, is that it is exalted love. There's a reason for that. So when we think of the Western astrology chart, we always need to remember that the Western astrology chart was created, I believe, during the age as we know it now. Like, we've expanded upon it, but as we know it now, it was made in the age of Aries, from my understanding. The age of Aries is the age of Taurus. And it was made by men. So it exalts men. When we think of how it was fine-tuned in the Middle Ages, right? Fine-tuned, created in the age, I believe it's Aries. Created in the age of Aries, fine-tuned in the Middle Ages. So it really does benefit white men. And for the past 4,000 years, that's what we've seen. Now, during the age of Aries, race was not a construct yet, so it just benefited men. During the age of Pisces, race became a construct, and then it really benefited white men, and we see colonialism and imperialism in the age of Pisces. Rampant racism, rampant unchecked racism, deep cruelty, all tied to race, all tied to the white race. Sorry. No, I'm not. I'm not sorry. This is what happened. So we have to remember that is who this is made for. So a lot of these placements, maybe they make sense as an individual. They do not make sense as a collective. So when I say in the age of Pisces, Venus is exalted, it cannot be exalted in an age where women are commodified and hated. It can't be an exalted placement. It can't. And I remember thinking, maybe Venus is exalted in forgiveness, or exalted in second chances, and exalted in beauty. But as far as love, giving love, because it's also, Pisces is very self-sacrificing. It's self-sacrificing. It represents martyrdom. It represents self-sabotage. All these things do not represent love or love of somebody. But I remember thinking, if a man has a woman and her Venus is in Pisces, oh, what a lucky man. What a lucky man. For the most part, this is what I've seen. It's like endless love, endless forgiveness, like a waterfall of devotion, really, because Pisces does represent I always forget what unconditional love, which to me as a Scorpio is something terrifying and should be only used for your children. Love for adults should absolutely be conditional. Say it with me. Love between adults should be conditional. What women were taught in the age of Pisces is that your love for your husband should be conditional, and the Bible was weaponized, or should be unconditional, and the Bible was weaponized to show that, when the Bible had absolutely had conditions. That's one of the biggest shadowings. So during the age of Pisces, Scorpio was unavailable. Okay? She said, this is not for me. I'm going to go into the shadows, and I'll come back when it's my time to shine. So also Pisces was like, yeah, you gotta go. Like, you're kind of dirty, and not dirty, but you like death and dark things. And, we're just not about that. So a lot of the Bible was really covered up with Piscean values, right? Really glamorized and full of glitter. Even the way the Lord looks is so glamorized, to the form where it's almost like white Jesus is a form of self-idolization amongst white people, because it's totally different than what is actually portrayed in the Bible. And you've been able to read that for over 100 years, so you know what he looks like, but you keep this image going. Even in modern churches today, you keep the image going. Jesus he had white hair of wool. The Bible, in a very nice way, says that Jesus wasn't nothing to look at. There is nothing. They said that, I'll come back I'll put it in the comment section, the actual verse. But it was like, Jesus wasn't nothing to look at. There was nothing to be desired about Jesus. I said, dang, okay. But they made like this sexy Jared Leto Jesus, when he was probably a big carpenter, skin of varnished bronze. You know what I'm saying? Like, totally different look. To then, instead of, the Bible saying we are made in his image, turned around and make God in theirs. It's a form of self-idolization. When we think about the age of Pisces, I want to make it very clear that Pisces, more than likely, and I truly believe this, did not want to be the age of the era. Pisces is an advisor, okay? Pisces is the advisor. It doesn't want to sit on the throne, and it never did want to sit on the throne. But it had to. It was its turn. There cannot be an exalted Pisces, an exalted feminine energy, a divine feminine energy in a time period where women are seen as subservient. It's impossible. It is impossible to have that. So now, I guess it's going to be a short video. I talk about the age of Pisces a lot, so we'll continue to go through it. But now that we're in the age of Aquarius, the age of Aquarius puts Piscean energy, it moves it down, right? So Piscean energy is now in the second house, a Venus house. It can be exalted. It's in one of the most, other than the first house, the most selfish house that there is, which is a good thing. It is not always bad to be selfish. For a sign like Pisces, which is notoriously selfless, notoriously involves martyrdom, and notoriously involves self-sabotage, this is a blessing for everyone. Because Pisces is going to do what it has to do to live, which means it's going to put itself first finally. So during the age of Aquarius, that's when we'll see an exalted Pisces. Because Pisces was trying its hardest to operate in an Aries energy. And it suffered. Piscean energy suffered. Pisces itself suffered. It hated it. Oh my God. It had to constantly apologize for what Aries was doing or what Aries had done. So, with that information, like I said, this is going to be a short video. The exaltation of Pisces. Oh, and I wanted to also say, it is August 8th, when I'm filming this, 2025. We just had one of the biggest transfers of energy as women, and we felt it all in our bodies on the 25th of July, and July in general. It was like it's something like spiritually that's hard to describe, but we were walking into a new age and era. It's official. Like, this is happening, and it's happening so fast. This is happening, like, the switching of eras is happening so quickly. Like, I'm actually shocked. because you would think that it would take so much longer because all the other ages took so long. Not this. Not Aquarius stepping into the fold. Here's the thing. Aquarius is stepping into the fold. It's a lot easier if you burn down your own town for someone else to then come in and take it over. That's what's happening. We see the United States was the superpower, and it abdicated the throne of its own volition. Of its own volition. It just said, you know what? We are choosing not to be the world power. We're choosing to let the dollar sign drop. The moment that imbecile got in power, it was a choice to abdicate the throne. Girl. But anyway, when we're talking about the exalted placement of Pisces, it has the support of Aquarius now in the second house. It's what we value. This Piscean energy, this artist energy, the divine feminine, music, art. Like, finally Pisces can do and be the greatness that it wanted to perform during its own era, and it couldn't. It was overruled and overthrown. It was suppressed in its own era. Now it has this protection from Aquarius. It has the backing of the 7th house in Leo. Leo and the 2nd house go together. We can discuss that another time. But this extremely strong energy, we are finally going to see the rise of the divine feminine and what it truly looks like. I hope we see it in our lifetime, but I really think we are. Girl, the way that these things are going, we're absolutely going to see it. The rise of the divine feminine. I mean, and sooner rather than later. Like, very soon. Very soon. Like, I think it's here right now. It's just like, kind of peeking his head over. Anyway, sorry, I'm excited about it. But this has been like my analysis of Pisces exalts, the exaltation of Pisces, and how we did not see that, even though it was in its own era for like the past 2,000 years, but we will be seeing it today. We will be seeing it in this time period. So with that, like, share, subscribe. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.